In the bustling city of Arendelle, nestled between mountain peaks and shimmering rivers, lived the family of one of the richest men in the country, Chief Zara Nwoko, a real estate mogul with sprawling estates and luxurious cars. His only daughter, Zara Nwoko, was a young woman of 21, educated abroad, polished in mannerisms, and adorned in the finest designer clothes money could buy. But beneath all the sparkle and charm lay a heart clouded by pride and privilege. Zara had never known hardship. From childhood, her every wish was granted before it was voiced. Chauffeurs, chefs, nannies, and maids surrounded her. Even at university abroad, she lived like royalty, far removed from the realities of ordinary people. It was during one rainy season in Nigeria, when Zara had returned home on holiday, that everything began to shift. That morning, heavy clouds hung low over the city. Zara had just left a beauty spa in her father's bulletproof black G-Wagon with her two friends Cassie and Amara. The streets were muddy, puddles lined the roadside, and the poor trudged barefoot through the water-soaked paths. As they passed the outskirts of town near a slum, their music blared. Zara was laughing about a boy who had tried to talk to her in the spa, calling him common. Cassie, driving, slowed near a bend, where a frail old woman, barefoot with a hunched back, was crossing the road with a bundle of firewood on her head. The old woman was drenched, struggling. Zara, bored and irritated, snapped, "Can't these poor people just stay off the road? Why do they love suffering?" Then came the moment that would change everything. With a wicked grin, she said to Cassie, "Splash her." "What?" "I said splash her. Drive into the puddle. Let's teach her to stay away from the road meant for cars." Cassie hesitated. Zara snapped, "Do it." With a slight turn of the wheel and a tap of the accelerator, the G-Wagon raced through the puddle. A wave of muddy water drenched the old woman, who dropped her firewood in shock, slipping and falling into the roadside ditch. Zara and her friends burst into laughter. "What a sight," Amara giggled. Cassie glanced back through the rearview mirror, eyes filled with regret. But Zara leaned back in her seat, feeling powerful. That evening, she posted a cryptic tweet. "Some people are just meant to carry firewood and water, life's hierarchy." She didn't know the tweet would come back to haunt her, the unfolding storm. The next day, her tweet had gone viral, but not for the reasons she hoped. Someone had filmed the splash from a small roadside shop and uploaded it. The video was graphic. The old woman soaked, falling, and the luxury car speeding away in laughter. Zara woke up to thousands of angry comments. "Disgusting. Spoiled brat. This is what happens when children grow up without conscience." The media caught fire. Billionaire's daughter humiliates elderly woman. TV stations aired the video. Radio stations debated the morality of the elite. Even international media picked it up. But worse was yet to come. The old woman, Mama Agnes, had broken her hip in the fall. She was hospitalized. Her only son, a teacher, pleaded for justice. Chief Obinna was furious. Not at his daughter's behavior, at first, but at the scandal. Business partners pulled back. Foundations canceled appearances. Clients demanded distance. "You've disgraced me," he told Zara coldly. Under pressure from public outrage, Zara was forced to apologize publicly. Cameras captured her walking stiffly into the hospital where Mama Agnes lay on a bed in pain. "Say something," the PR manager whispered. Zara mumbled, "I'm sorry. It was a joke." Mama Agnes turned to her slowly and said, "My child, when your wealth fades, and one day it might, you'll remember this moment. May God forgive you." Zara didn't expect the sting. Her apology didn't fix the damage. Police later came to the hospital and arrested her, but she got released before dawn because of her apology. Her father, desperate to save face, cut her off temporarily, asking her to go do community service to rebuild the family image. She was sent to live in the rural village of Nem, where Mama Agnes came from, to understand humility. It was meant to be 2 weeks. There was no Wi-Fi, no spas, no house help. Zara lived in a small bungalow built by her father for PR purposes. She fetched water. She washed her own clothes. She was assigned to work in the local women's cooperative, helping them package and market their handmade soaps and oils. At first, she refused. "Do you know who I am?" she'd shout. But slowly, the village women wore her down. They didn't care about her accent or her designer shoes. They laughed at her when she couldn't carry a water pot or cook over firewood. But they also taught her. They taught her to listen, to watch the sunrise, to smile at strangers, to care. One day she sat beside a wrinkled woman who said gently, "Wealth is like rain. It doesn't stay in one place forever." She met children with bright eyes but no school books, women who walked miles just to sell a basket of fruit, men who toiled under the sun for less than she used to spend on a milkshake. She cried herself to sleep often, wondering what kind of person she had been. By the fourth week, she chose to stay longer, Zara began to organize a new project, building a proper school and clinic for the village. She called on friends, leveraged connections, and convinced her father to fund it not for image, but for change. She worked beside villagers mixing cement, teaching children math, distributing notebooks. Mama Agnes was brought to Ndem to visit her family. When Zara saw her again, she ran to her, fell on her knees, and with tears in her eyes cried, "Please forgive me. You didn't deserve what I did. I was blind." Mama Agnes touched her face and whispered, "Now you see." 2 years later, Zara refused to return to the glamorous lifestyle fully. She founded an NGO focused on dignity for rural women and education for underprivileged children. Her father, watching her transformation, grew quiet and proud. The media called it the redemption of Zara Nwoko. But Zara often said it wasn't redemption, it was awakening. And every year on the day of the splash, she would visit Mama Agnes with flowers and gifts, not to erase the past, but to remember it, to honor it. Because sometimes it takes a fall, a splash, and the pain of others to awaken the soul. Click on the subscription button now. Like, share, and comment. Here are the moral lessons from the story 1. Pride can blind the heart. Zara's arrogance made her lose sight of the humanity in others. The story reminds us that pride can destroy empathy and lead us to treat others with cruelty. 2. Every human being deserves respect. No matter a person's age, appearance, or social status, they deserve to be treated with dignity. The old woman carrying firewood had more wisdom than Zara, despite Zara's wealth. 3. Wealth is not a license for oppression. Being rich should never justify looking down on others. True nobility lies in kindness, not in material possessions. 4. The power of a single action. One careless, cruel action can have lasting consequences. Zara's moment of cruelty became a public scandal and a personal turning point. 5. Social media reflects who you are. What you say or do online reflects your values. Zara's tweet worsened her situation and revealed her mindset to the world. 6. Humility is learned, not bought. Humility came to Zara only when she lived among those she once looked down on. Life's real lessons often come from discomfort. 7. Pain can lead to growth. Zara's embarrassment and fall from grace became the very tools that transformed her into a better person. Suffering is often a doorway to wisdom. 8. True forgiveness heals deeply. Mama Agnes's forgiveness was not weakness, it was strength. It helped heal Zara's heart and offered her a path to redemption. 9. Change is possible. No one is beyond transformation. Zara went from a spoiled, entitled girl to a humble leader serving others. 10. Leadership begins with service. True leadership is not in commanding wealth or people, but in using your influence to uplift others. Zara became a true leader through service. 11. Public image is not the same as character. Maintaining a reputation is easy when things go well, but true character is tested in crisis. Zara's real growth began after her fall from public favor. 12. Never underestimate the wisdom of the elderly. Mama Agnes was poor, but her words were rich in truth. The elderly often carry wisdom that youth overlook. 13. Privilege comes with responsibility. Those born into wealth or power have a greater duty to treat others well and give back to society. 14. Actions speak louder than apologies. Zara's transformation wasn't in her apology, it was in her consistent actions afterward. 15th. God sees the heart. Even when the world sees you fall, God watches the heart that repents and chooses to do better. Thanks for watching. Subscribe on the channel Like and comment for more interesting stories.